Hi, this is Kayla from the Salty Yankee, and I'm going to show you how to change dashed cut lines into score lines using Inkscape. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my Barbie box because this has dashed cut lines. So if you were to load this into your Cricut or your Silhouette, this would cut as actual dashes. And I know that some prefer to use score, so this is to change it to a regular score line. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to lower the opacity of this pink just so I can see my lines a little more clearly. So down here at opacity, I'm just going to change that to 50. Now I can really get a better look at my lines. And this process is very, very simple. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that all of my lines are grouped together, because when I go to delete them later, it's going to make that easier. They are grouped, but if they were not, I would go ahead and group them here, which would be Control G on your keyboard. So those are grouped together. So what I need to do is I'm going to use my Bezier pen right here to redraw these lines, and I need to make sure that they're perfect, right? So I'm going to choose this up here, toggle snapping on and off. I need to make sure that it is toggled on. And here are the settings that I have. I want the snapping enabled, and I want the cusp nodes enabled. I don't want the smooth nodes enabled because that will click to like each and every one of these and you would just never find your node. So make sure that is turned on. And now from here, all we have to do is redraw these lines. So I'm going to start at the top of this line, and you'll notice it will snap. See how it will kind of like drag your mouse directly there? Click it, then click the bottom and make sure you go all the way to the bottom. Make sure your snapping is finding your spot. Click and hit enter. So now I have that red line there. That is a score line, okay? So now with the Bezier pen again, I'm going to start here. I'm snapping to the top, snapping to the bottom, and hitting enter. And that's creating another line. And I'm going to do that on all of these lines. So clicking, making sure that snapping is grabbing the ends, because you want to make sure that it's perfectly straight. You don't want to put, crooked score lines and then it won't fold properly. Okay, so now I've gone over all of my dashed lines. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of those lines I just made and I'm going to group those together. So I'm going to click one of them and I'm going to go to Edit, Select Same, and Stroke Color. So basically all the lines that are red, it's going to select all those red lines. And now on my keyboard, I'm pressing Control G to group them together. And what I'm going to do now is I want to be able to grab those initial lines and delete them. So on my keyboard, I'm going to press page down. And what that's done is put the red behind the black lines. You could have also gone to object and lower just to move it down. So now when I click, I'm actually grabbing those original black lines and I can delete them. And I can turn the opacity back up on here, and you can leave the lines red or you can change the stroke to black. It doesn't matter. Cricut's not going to care. It's a score line. And now those lines, instead of being dashes, they're going to be scores. And I can show you how to make those into a score in Cricut. So let's bring this into Cricut. Okay, so I've got our box here in Cricut. So all we have to do to make those into score lines is let's ungroup. Okay, let's select our group of lines right here. And we're going to go to Operation and change that to Score. And then you can go ahead and select it all and attach. And now when you go to make it, it's going to tell you, so, those are dotted, but it's not going to cut the dots. It's going to ask you to load, well, I'm not connected to my machine, but it's going to ask you to load your scoring tool. And that is how you change the dashed lines into score lines in Inkscape. Thanks for watching.